everyone. Welcome back to the Harbingers D&D campaign. Woo! We are super excited to be back here again to continue this story. Just a quick note, we are so sorry that we had to end our session early last week due to all of our technology problems. And this week we do have to do pre-recorded sessions as well as next week. We do have to do pre-recorded sessions just because of the internet connectivity problems that we have. But after that, we'll be going to our holiday break, which we wish you all the best and happiest of holidays. And we will see you guys back on January 19th, I believe. Um, with that, I believe announcements. Oh, yes, we do have merch, which is awesome, guys. Um Actually, Dane has a really awesome thing he got from the merch page. The mouse pad, the Harbinger's mouse pad, which you can kind of see coming in and out on his
Yep.
computer.
It has camouflage, built-in camouflage, you guys. That's
Built in,
wild.
yeah. But with artwork done by Silver Dusk, it is a super fun little chibi mouse pad that you guys can get to support the campaign, support the players here, and support Rosemary PG Studios in general. So, um, definitely check that out on our website. Buy some merch if you'd like, and it's pretty awesome. Um, I think that's it for announcements. Other than we love you guys. You're amazing. Um, Perfect. With that, I think we are going to go straight into the short recap of last week's short session, but recap nonetheless. So give it away, Greg.
All right. So last week was the notes session. We didn't have a ton of time, so most of what we got was pretty much notes left by people. After our adventure in town with the costumes and the magic and everything else, we had settled down for the night. When we awoke, it seemed that Val and Echo had already disappeared, as they usually do, but they did not leave without giving us a note. They made sure Nuri got the note through the bartender, and she also received a flask with a heart carved into the front of it. Very cute, very nice note.
Oh, it
That's
was a
a flower.
rose.
Oh, flower. Apologies, not a heart. Flowers, because she is very married, like beyond married. One might even say super.
Super married.
Super married. It was a rose. Um, Additionally, we all were up. We're all down around the table, and we kind of felt like something was missing. And we realized it was Amaris. Amaris was missing.
Oh my
Quite
gosh.
shocking. So we all got a bit of PTSD from our favorite resident grandma, and we're worried that she may have fallen the same road. But to some looking around, we find another note, not meant for us, but a note. It is addressed to Dane, not our Dane, but the in-game Dane. And we read it aloud because that was the best idea. After checking it, we figure maybe Amaris has left because of this reason, or maybe she's left because of that reason. Well, whatever reason she left, we should probably find her. We cast a spell to communicate with her. She doesn't respond. So we decided to go look for her. Douse has to go get his stuff and finds another note. This one is unsigned, but is very presumed that it is from Nuri, apologizing for, I guess, existing. I feel like that was pretty much how it came across. She just feels bad, you guys. It's just a tough time. But we begin our adventure and start trying to look for Amaris. We set out task groups. Douse and his goats. And we got the two birds and Dusty and Nuri, and we were just about to begin searching, I believe. I believe that's where we left off, was just about to start.
To start searching for Amaris. Alrighty. Oh, that was it. Okay.
No, that was it. Yeah, that was that. I feel like that
First,
was an appropriate way to end the recap, with just an abrupt pause, because that's how the session ended, was with an abrupt pause.
it
But it's
was very
okay.
abrupt.
Hopefully, the recording will make things better. Then we
Yes,
won't have to worry about
exactly.
abrupt pauses.
Perfect. There we go. Let's just rock out and have fun. Everyone who had fun on this session liked the video, so after watching this, so um sorry. Anyways, back to finding Amaris. Alrighty, so Amaris, are you specifically trying to stay hidden, or do you not care if like people find you?
Right now, Amaris is just out away from people because she needs a moment to just basically clear her head or even prepare if anything else happens. So yeah, she's just, I don't want to say her location. Spoilers for any of you.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I know where she
but she
is.
is somewhere, you know where she is. She is somewhere practicing her swordsmanship and maybe trying to attune to the time piercer.
Okay. Alrighty. Which, no, on that, we need to clarify something, is that all of the pieces of all the magic items that were found in the Lamia lair were identified by our resident wizard. But Amaris was not given the command word for her weapon because it just got lost in the fray because continuity. So, just so everyone knows.
Thanks, Nuri.
That can be a meme, Sierra. Just that position. Alrighty. So, Amaris, I would like you to roll a secret roll to me of stealth. And
Okay,
the
this one
two.
I'm actually going to do this in person because it
Alrighty. And
for
then
some reason
just.
it doesn't like me to send secret rolls.
That's all right. Just whisper me the secret roll for stealth. And then everyone else, so the groups are Nuri and Dusty and Douse and two goats who got into a little bit of trouble last session.
Also,
But
there's Houdini and Greg's owl as well.
yes, Houdini and Greg's owl. Let me pull out Houdini for you, Sierra. No, come out. Yes, Megan. Very sneaky. Alrighty. So I want both of teams basically to roll a investigation check.
Should we both roll, or should one
The
roll with
advantage?
advantage?
I would say one of you guys roll with advantage.
Okay. Well, I have a -1 to investigation, so Nuri may want to take this.
Oh, that made me laugh way too hard. Okay. Investigation. I'll take it with my +6, so I'll do that.
Ooh.
Okay. I just saw it. There it is. 22.
Alrighty, Douse, what did you get?
Not good. This
You
is
get-
investigation, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a 9.
A 9. Alrighty.
Sorry, I'm updating stuff in my notes. that I
You were
forgot to
getting
put
a
in,
little
so
distracted by the craziness of the goats, basically.
I'm more or less hurting the ghost than I am looking for Amaris at the moment.
Yeah, and the goats kind of like take you in a lot of different directions at this point as you're trying to like herd them in one direction. They're kind of going all over the place. So we're
Sitting on
gonna
one
we're
side
gonna
of the
leave you
street. Oh no,
herding.
don't eat that. And the other side, he's like, get
Don't
over
eat
it. Come on, remove me.
basically. Um, so you're continuously herding the goats right now. As for this, um, sorry, Dusty, not Greg. Dusty and Nuri with Houdini and his owl.
The owls were going in a different direction.
Oh, okay. So we're gonna toss the owls off in one direction. We're gonna put Douse and the goats over here. Whoops. Oh, whoops. Okay. And we're gonna put Nuri and Dusty there, and Amaris is going to be on top of this little pond because she's not there. Alrighty, and Greg, can you roll investigation for the owls?
Yes. Here, hold on. Let me pull up their stats. Investigation. Can I bargain for perception instead of
Oh, yeah.
investigation?
You can do perception. Totally.
Nice. Good.
That's honestly
Just
probably
wanted to
what they would
check.
be doing a lot more. It would be perception.
Yeah. For those who don't have the stat sheet pulled up in front of them, they have a -4 to intelligence, and so thus would have a -4 to investigation. But they have a +3 to perception, so 20.
20. Okay. So, alrighty. As you guys, Nori and Dusty, are investigating, looking around, heading off in your direction, is there anything you guys would like to do with each other first, or say as you guys are investigating?
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe.
Sorry, can you see your question again? I might look a lot better, but I'm actually still like all over the place on my brain. Can you say it again?
Is there anything you and Dusty would like to converse about while you guys are looking?
Oh, okay, okay. Okay.
Yes, you're still recovering from your medical emergency.
Yes. I don't think Nuri would say anything right now. She's just contemplating the letter she read.
Okay,
Yeah.
alrighty. With that, as you guys are looking around, kind of traveling together in silence, you can decide what kind of silence that is. As you guys are traveling, you do hear some noise coming from out in a clearing. Little further ways out of town. Not straight out of town, out of the inner circle of like homes and everything. But you head out there, and as you turn around the corner, you do find none other than Amaris swinging a sword around, kind of practicing her moves.
So that's Dusty and Nuri, correct?
Yep.
Correct. And you
Um,
actually do sense the presence of your owls above, as they are also, they were going around in a different direction, but since they had the aerial view, they did spot her and were coming around as well.
Okay. So as soon as we saw her, Nuri would actually stop. She wouldn't like approach, just kind of watch and send a message through sending to Douse.
Okay, what do you say?
Out is it clearing outside of town, north, east, west? What is it?
It is currently east.
Okay. Found Amaris outside of town. North. Wait, no. East.
Mm-hmm.
East.
You had north, no way, east.
North. No, east. She's practicing sword fighting. Seems fine.
With a question mark at the end. Douse, you
Hope
hear
it's
that
going well.
in your mind.
Dot dot dot. Use words.
As you just hear dot 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 dot, use words.
So, first thing you're going to hear is, sorry, these things are pulling me all over the place.
Sorry, these things are pulling me all over the place. That's 11 words.
Okay, so 24 left. No, not 20, 14 left.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Do you need me to come over? I got 4 left.
Yes.
If not, I'll hang. And that's
That's it. As the goats you start pulling you forward, as you're kind of like trying to like pull on a little leash, like a rope that was snagged around one of their necks, to try and help corral them together, and they just start pulling you in a different direction. Yeah, you aren't able to stop them as they continue to pull you.
fair enough. That's about as much as I expected.
Alrighty. Nori, is there anything you say you send in response, or do you just leave it at that?
I'm not gonna use another spell slot to say anything. Nah.
Alrighty, Douse. You will never know.
Yeah, he'll never know. He'll probably wait in place for like 5-10 minutes, if not
In place.
in the general street that he's been on before deciding going closer or further away.
Mhm.
Not receiving anything, he'll return to the inn. Be like, that's the last place we were all together. Let's go there.
With the goats?
Yeah.
Well, the goats are currently pulling you in a different direction. They're current. Do
Let me
you?
let me rephrase this. Douse will attempt to go back to the inn.
Alrighty. All right. So as you're currently being pulled, attempting to go back to the inn in just a little bit, but I'll keep that in mind. Um, Amaris, Nuri, uh, Dusty,
So,
Houdini, other
oh yeah,
owl.
Houdini. Other owl friends.
Mhm.
So Dusty, he kind of like he pulls back a little bit and kind of pulls Nuri just a little bit to have her like move back with him, and he'll whisper to her, and he'll say, "Well, it seems like she's occupied with something. If you would like, I could go talk to her." unless you would like to come with me. I know that things may be a little bit uncomfortable right now. So, how should we proceed?
I probably should stay back. I don't want to add to any of the tension that's over there.
All right. I'll head over. We'll get this sorted out. And he kind of like nods, like a knowing nod. And then he'll just kind of turn and start walking towards Amaris.
Amaris, you see him.
Um,
You do
well,
also
Amaris,
see Nuri in the back.
well, is Nuri trying to hide?
Define hide.
There's not really like a hiding spot. You're in a clearing right now.
This is a clear. Does that mean there's trees?
So
like
are
how
you-
far away are the trees? Or town?
No, it's just like a big like
Meadow.
meadow kind of a thing. And then there's like farmland off in the distance.
She'll be hanging back a good distance and can't hear anything. And her bird will even come, Houdini will come and just land on her shoulder. So you can see
Okay.
she has no visible listening things on you.
So Amaris more hears Dusty coming, and like hearing that someone is coming, she's like going to turn around and like swiftly like bring her rapier around and have it point at Dusty. But then seeing that it is Dusty, she relaxes a bit, but then she sees Nuri and is tense once again. Make an insight check for me, please.
Oh boy.
Ooh.
This is why we.
I love it when the players call the shots. Oh my gosh. First nat one.
Nat one.
Can we talk about how it's 8 total with a nat 1? Can we talk about how I have a plus
I
7
know,
to
right?
insight check? I was just about to say, man, insight check. Good thing I spec'd into this.
I'm gonna be
Oh my
honest.
God.
I didn't even think that was a nat one, even though it's a red number. I was like, oh yeah, 8. Okay, not a bad
That's
roll.
not the worst.
Nuri, if you if you want to, you can roll insight as well.
Yes, she has very good eyesight. She does have very good eyesight.
She is an elf.
Insight.
Carrots.
7.
You somehow got worse than
Okay.
Dusty.
Both
Yeah,
better.
'cause Dusty
At least
rolled a
at
nat
least
one.
it wasn't a nat one.
Dusty rolled a nat 1 and got an 8, and Nuri rolled a 5 and got a 7.
So I guess I noticed more? I guess.
Or less.
Subconsciously, you notice more, but cognitively, probably not.
Well, Dusty, this is normal. This is totally normal. For Nuri, for starters, you can tell, yeah, she's upset, but
It's a woman
You can
thing. She can get
also-
that. That's what it is.
but like you can also tell there's faint dark circles under her eyes, and you could probably get from that it was a rough night for her.
Okay. Dusty
So
had his, like, he kind of, like, gently put his hands up and, like, lowered them as this has gone on.
Amaris is gonna keep her rapier up. What are you guys doing here?
Well, looking for you. weren't exactly sure where you went. We were a little bit worried. So,
I just needed a minute.
Dusty nods. He says, "Okay. I get it. If you would like, we can leave you be for a bit. We were just a little bit concerned. We didn't want to have another party member run off. Just
Amaris is occasionally doing a quick glance at Nuri. We or you?
Dusty kind of like cocks his head up a little bit, and thinks for a moment. And he's like, "We, I don't believe that. I believe that Nuri and Douse were thinking the same thing, or at least similar. They both did agree to help look, so at the very least there's that. But something, just remember, if you do ever need someone to talk to, we are here to talk to you. I will respect your privacy and let you get back to it, but we should talk sometime about." And he just kind of like gestures. He just kind of gestures in a circular motion. He's just like, "This, just everything. A lot has happened. It would be good to talk about it. Important, even."
High or low?
Ooh, first high or low of the night.
Let's do low. Bless
If it wasn't a stinking high or low, this is what I rolled.
A nat
you.
20.
Does that count? Does that go up on the board? Do we count those?
No.
What
No,
a good
not for
high
high or low.
All right.
I mean, she rolls with a d20 for hers. I roll 2d6 for mine.
Yeah. 12 doesn't have quite the
Um,
same impact as 20.
you can see that Amaris's hands are shaking a bit. I don't know if this is something I can talk about. And another glance at Nuri. Because the last time I talked about it, the person I told it to changed.
And you were looking at Nuri when you said that?
It was a quick glance at Nuri.
Okay. This is my brain working on overdrive on how Dusty would respond. Sorry, that's my noises. You can imagine the gears computing and everything for Dusty.
He's like, I was not programmed for this.
No, he doesn't
Feminine
actually make any
emotions.
sound. He doesn't make any sounds like that.
File not found.
File not found.
Error code.
Reconciliation.
Human emotion.
Error 404.
Ah,
Oh, there goes System 32. So, so, Dusty, he does stay silent for a second, and he says, well, I don't know exactly what that was that you shared, but and I don't entirely understand the circumstances. But I do understand one thing. I get how frustrating life can be. So whenever you are and how difficult things can be to talk about. I, for one, have not really shared everything with everyone. You four are some of the few that know about what I am. Haven't even told Douse yet. And he kind of like chuckles to himself a little bit. I guess I should get to that sometime. But I, for one, expected you all to treat me differently after the news. I'm not exactly I'm not exactly the same as everyone else. And I do not know what is going on with you, but I am willing to listen. I'm a good secret keeper. If it is something sensitive, I can promise you I will not tell a soul. But if you would like some time, then by all means. But I would like to talk to you. I promise it will not change my view of you. Or at the very least, not how I treat you. And he kind of like nods, sort of comfortingly, and he says, we'll be waiting for your return. We care about you a lot, Amaris. And though I can't guarantee the emotions of the rest of the party, I can tell you that you are very close to me. You are family, after all. Even if it's in a really weird, mechanical way. You are important to me. And he just...
High or low?
We'll go with high. We'll go with high. Is this the one that hasn't been there? Let me draw that. What a great box. Fantastic box we draw.
Please tell me that's another nat 20.
That'd be funny.
Well,
Looking at your face.
he said low, and that's when I rolled the nat 20. Now he's saying high. It's the nat 1.
All right.
It
I'm
just
retiring,
doesn't.
guys.
It
I'm
does
gonna
not
retire,
want you.
actually. We're gonna yeah, you guys have fun playing D&D together. I'm just gonna go retire.
Your dice are just adamant about you not returning to being Dusty's friend.
Dusty, he just kind of like he begins turning around.
Well, you don't really notice anything. Amaris doesn't really say anything. But she's also keeping an eye on Nuri, making sure nothing, like she doesn't pull anything off.
You never know.
Is this like you watching Nuri a visible thing?
Well, depends. Roll insight.
Oh man.
You should not have asked. You should have assumed it was. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, you
Wait,
clicked
why
it
did it roll
twice.
twice? That was weird. Sorry.
Roll one more time because you rolled twice. So
Natural 20.
Oh my
25.
gosh.
The DM's approval.
It was approved by the DM.
there we go.
It's shined.
That's 25.
So it is just more like quick glances, like a quick side eye kind of thing. But since your eyesight is very good, you do notice.
Dude, oh my gosh, I totally forgot. If she could see your mouth, she can hear everything you're saying. I forgot.
What?
If I could see people's mouths and I understand the language they're speaking, I can read their.
Oh yeah.
Oh, so she probably heard that whole conversation.
Yep.
Yeah. Well,
Wait,
she
high or
didn't
low?
hear.
Was
She did
paying
not hear
attention purposely?
Dusty's. She did not hear
I
Dusty's
can't hear
side.
Dusty's side, but I could hear her response. High or low, Megan? Was she purposely looking or not?
Let's do high.
Okay.
She was looking.
Yes. She's really bad at this. Seeing your eyes coming back and forth to her and just your side of the conversation. I don't know what Dusty was saying to you. And you didn't say anything yet to Dusty after his little spiel, correct?
No, she didn't say anything after
Okay.
that spiel.
Okay. So her seeing that you keep looking at her, and from the information she has from the beginning of the conversation, she just kind of nods her head and kind of just like, okay. She kind of like does little hands up, like, no offense here. And she'll head back into town.
As you turn to head back into town, you turn to see two big giant fluffy goats just ramming right into you. You get make a dexterity saving throw as you hear the screaming of Douse as she's holding on to the rope.
20.
Okay.
Dirty 20.
All right, dirty 20. With this, you manage to kind of like jump up just in time out of reach, but you're actually able to land on top of the goat. So now you're charging headfirst towards Dusty and Amaris, and you kind of
I will grab its horn and yank it to the side.
Let me finish my description real quick.
Ugh.
You look over and you see Douse is desperately clinging onto the rope here on this your goat. It's like, okay, imagine Sokka from Avatar: The Last Airbender when he drinks the cactus juice and he's like, ooh, like a wiggly worm. And, imagine Dow just soaring through the sky on this rope like Sokka.
A banner. A steadfast symbol of hope.
I'll have you know, he's not quiet at all through this whole process. He is yelling his head off, trying to get them to stop.
He's like, mm-hmm.
Oh, good.
I need you to make a strength check, Sierra.
Okay. Let's try 13.
13? Okay, well, they had an 18.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
So You try and yank it, and he just like yanks you off to the side. And so you kind of start to slide off, but you're able to grab your balance again.
I don't know if I want to be on this goat, so I'll actually just fall off.
If
I
you
won't ride myself.
if I will say, if you do continue to fall off, you do risk being trampled by them.
I'll fall off.
You're like, no.
I'll
Okay,
just fall off.
alrighty. So you are going to fall off right as it's about to make contact with Dusty, um,
So
and Amaris. So
so yeah, you go ahead first. I have something that Dusty will do.
okay, you fall off. I need you to make another dexterity save to keep from being trampled. That was
Boy.
a 4.
Oh wait, no, I did a double roll again. Dang it.
No,
Why
the
is it
20
doing
was
that?
from your last one. The 20 was from your last one.
Oh, was it? No, because I
Yeah.
did a strength thing. Oh, okay, never mind. We're good. Sorry.
No, you're fine.
No DM reroll nat 20 on that one. Sorry.
No,
No,
not
I'm okay with
condoning
that.
it. You do get trampled a bit by them
I'm fine
into
with
the
that.
ground. You are going to take. Let me roll this. Actually, let me go with 4d4.
44 damage.
44 points of damage. No, that was a high roll, actually. 13
Instant dead,
points
no
of
saves.
exactly 13 points of damage of trample damage from 2 goats trampling over you.
And one
Dust
douse.
and one Douse just bonks right against you. Um, Douse, from this whole debacle, you are also gaining 1 point of damage as you like bounce between them, pretty much. Um,
Just one?
I
You're
rolled
so
for it
lenient.
actually.
Okay.
I rolled for it and it was 1, and I was like, I guess. I got like almost max when I was rolling for Sierra, so that was pretty funny. Anyways, Dusty, what were you doing?
So Dusty, he is going to turn to them. Since they are his creations,
They
his
do
words
okay.
can command them. So he's going to tell them both to heal. He's just like, heal.
Okay,
Stop.
as you say heal, that is when Nuri like falls off and they like trample her, but they like skid down and then like pull themselves to a stop in the dirt and plump down in like a sitting motion. Douse, your face is now covered by one goat's butt. Um, as he just sits down right on you. Um, and Dusty, they are just like an inch away from you as you said heal, and now they're like they planted their hooves into the ground as they just skidded forward in the dirt a little bit, and now they're right in front of you.
Dusty just he like has his hands out and he's just like pats one of them on the head, just kind of like to comfort himself. He's just like,
Douse,
You're
what
gonna
are you
hear from
doing?
underneath that one.
it's like just stand up, let him go.
The goat stands up.
Dells will slowly get up, walk up to Dusty, hand him the ropes, and just like, never again. Trust one of these abominable things.
He just kind of sticks his thumb out. He's like, don't know what you did, but seemed they were pretty jittery. Sorry about that.
They start munching on pieces of grass, like tufts of grass in this little meadow here. Nor you were just in the ground after being trampled. You're like 5 feet away from Douse right now.
Yeah, Dusty's gonna walk over towards Nuri and like try and help her up.
Amaris, what are you doing?
She doesn't know what she's gonna do. Like there was like she thought that they were going to leave her alone, and then all of a sudden,
So many shenanigans.
goats. So she does not know how to take all this.
All right, as you can continue to watch as Douse hands over the reins and Dusty goes over to help Nuri up. Nuri, I think you were going to say something.
Yeah, I'll take his help up.
Yeah, he just kind of helps you up, and he's like, "Are you okay?" And he kind of like starts like inspecting to make sure she's all right.
She's got hoof prints
She,
all over her clothes.
consider she is a wizard, so yeah.
It was quite painful.
Not her best. Took a third of her health away, definitely. She's a wizard. It doesn't matter, we're 6th level.
Yeah,
Actually a little more than the third for health, but yeah.
that's fine.
She's just like, yeah, I'm fine.
She's gonna,
She just kind of stands there awkwardly.
yeah. Dusty's
Not
just
sure
like
what to do.
he like looks at the hoof prints. He's like, "Ooh, those look pretty bad." Here, and he's gonna cast Cure Wounds 2nd level, just to try and help you up a little bit. That is 11 points of healing. And he's like, "Sorry about that. They are ultimately animals I've found. Unless I tell them to do something, seems like they're magically bound to that." He just kind of like scratches one of their faces.
And they kind of
Yeah. Well, and he just kind of like turns back and walks towards Douse. He's like, "We were just about to head out. We were gonna give Amaris some time to kind of process some things on her own."
No worries. Amaris, I'm glad you're doing okay. Sorry about all this. Stinking animals. Anyways,
Yeah.
fucking not user friendly at all. Uh, yeah, take your time. Let's go, guys.
All right.
And he's going
Yeah,
to walk back on the opposite side of the street from the animals.
yeah, just like a good social distance that way, just maybe 2.
Yeah, no, he took that to the extremes. It's not 6 feet away; it's 12 feet.
Yeah, it's 12 feet. Yeah. Dusty, he'll kind of like turn and say, "We'll be in town," to Amaris.
Nuri's gonna take the letter they found and just be like, this is yours. Give it to Amaris if she takes it. But if Amaris is like,
are you stepping closer to her?
she'd take a half step closer, like her arm held out with the letter.
No, any sign of movement from Nuri moving towards Amaris is gonna back up.
Okay, high or low?
Let's balance it out and go low.
All right, that sounds like a plan. Oh, glad. It's fine. Okay. Dusty just continues.
Nuri's kind of like fingers at the flask that's hanging from her waist now. And do you want me to just leave it on the ground? Hold on to it? It seems kind of private. Read it because I thought it was a leaving note. Definitely, probably should not have.
At this, Douse will walk over, take the note, and just go over to Amaris and give it to her. Like,
He's just like, I've had enough of this. I'm here, take it.
Oh no,
It's
Douse is
nothing-
becoming the
Amaris?
middleman.
it's nothing evil or anything. This looks like it was a letter from your diary.
Amaris doesn't say anything. She's hardly even looking at you guys at this point.
Douse will just like tuck it into your hand and just grab Nuri and start walking away.
Megan, high or low? Megan, high or low? Amaris, pay attention to me.
I'm sorry, I answered. I didn't realize I was muted.
I thought you were just contemplating it very hard. I was like, man, she's really thinking about this.
No, low. I'm saying low.
Low. This is just not in your favor today. So Douse has grabbed Nuri's arm to start pulling her away. Which is also just funny because she's taller than him and it's just funny.
He would go for the scruff to the neck, but he can't quite reach.
He can't reach it. That's just
Grabs
funny.
your wrist.
Douse, could you let go for a moment, please? Just let go.
Are you gonna do something nice?
No magic will be used.
Okay. Just think she really needs her space, that's all.
Does he let go?
Yes.
Thank you, Douse. Amaris. Obviously, you are not happy with me. Maybe a little afraid of me. Kind of feels like you're scared of me.
A little.
So you're very afraid of me. Is that what you're saying?
You can tell she's still holding on to her rapier, and you can most likely see that her grip tightens on it.
So very afraid of me. She takes her flask off, opens it, and takes a swig. Closes it. Rightfully so. I was pretty uncool a few nights back. Everyone knows this. And I didn't tell you why, because I was trying to protect you, and obviously that has completely backfired. So, coming clean here. She takes another swig. I made contact with Ami that night.
Roll insight.
Insight. Okay. Insight.
Watching, ready.
16.
16.
So Amaris doesn't have much of a reaction to it, but from how she does react, you can tell she probably already figured you were able to get in contact with Ami.
Well, seems like you knew that. How much were you awake for?
Quite a lot, actually.
Oh,
With you yelling at your husband like that? Seriously, how could I fall asleep?
to be fair, you were asleep when I came in. Well, this is awkward. Well, yeah, made contact with Ami. And he was in a lot of pain. And he was scared. And then I couldn't make contact with him again. And it was very scary and frustrating. Because for 2 years I've been chasing after him, trying to find some way to reach him, to only find out he was just constantly in pain and scared. And I couldn't comfort him. As his mother, I couldn't comfort him. And I let my rage out in an unhealthy manner. She takes another swig. And I tried to make contact with Dane, but something holding them interrupted it and told me to stop looking. And I thought maybe I would tell you after I talked to her to let you know she was okay, but then because I couldn't make contact, then I thought you'd be more angry, because what if I had just put her in danger, because now she's a liability to whoever has her. So I didn't come to you with any of this. She takes another swig. Because I thought it would just add to your pain about Dane being unconscious. And because I know what that's like, I've been doing that for 2 years, I thought I could protect you from that pain, which obviously you already knew all of that. And yeah. She takes another swig and she stops. And yes.
Amaris looks at the note that had basically been shoved into her hands. She unfolds it a little bit to see which one it was. I'm guessing since you read this, you knew I had my worries.
Like I said, probably shouldn't have read it, but I thought it was a goodbye note, leaving. Whoopsies. Takes another swig.
Quick question. You just said that you were able to get in contact with someone who's been in a coma, right?
Yes.
One moment, please. He's going to go off to the side. He's going to use shape water to kind of just make a dome around his head and then just start screaming. He's like, what?
And you guys just hear
He's-
like bubbling, like go,
He's very animated about it as well because he's going through the whole like.
Like,
mind is blown, but this is him going through the process of trying to figure out how everything works.
Dusty is now facing the party at this point. He's turned around.
Well, you
He's just
heard
like,
that she contacted someone in a coma. She got in contact with her husband. Like, there's crazy tea.
Yeah,
Douse,
Douse would
she-
maybe do that for a good 30 seconds and then let it drop. But
Okay.
you'd rejoin the group.
Uh.
Okay,
As the water drops,
Continue.
as you start to rejoin the group, the goats go over to where the water fell on the ground and start licking it.
Dusty just kind of walks with them. He's just like
Douse
walking
avoids
his
them
dogs.
like the plague.
Amaris just watches all that happen. How long have you had your suspicions that I was afraid? Even before reading the note.
Oh, since the first night, I'm suspecting you guys were all kind of afraid of me. Or didn't trust me at least. Which, see why, but she takes another swig.
I mean,
I told you about what happened. Why I left. So what made you think that what you did last night with that spell was okay?
Last night? Or the night before? The fire night.
The tavern, Nuri.
What did I do in the tavern? Okay, ask Sierra, what did I do? I don't remember.
So
Drugs and
it
things.
was the area effect spell. It was the like you were debating whether or not to push Amaris down the stairs so that she wouldn't get hit by your area effect spell. But seeing that it would have taken your action since we were in combat, she didn't. And Amaris was right there.
Yeah, I feel like Nuri might have forgotten about that in game.
Yeah, honestly,
I feel like-
yeah.
Prescription
Nuri
drugs.
seems- Prescription drugs.
Sorry, I just
be
had to throw that out.
I had surgery. I'm on pain medication. Oh my gosh. Okay. There's like the tavern. What spell are you talking about?
did I miss something when I was out? Unconscious? Nuri,
There
did
was
you
a-
do something?
No, there was
Dusty?
a fight upstairs. And there was zombies and spiders. And a
And
witch.
bears, oh my.
And Val almost died. She takes another swig.
Amaris can see that Nuri doesn't remember. So she just kind of like shakes her head and is just like, you know what? Forget it. And she's gonna head back to town.
What do you do? It's like confused. I mean, what did I do besides the other things she calls out?
Yeah, Dusty just kind of follows the entourage. Just kind of follows behind Amaris. Just kind of walks. And Dusty kind of turns back to Nuri and just kind of gives her like a He's like, I have no idea.
Dusty, you were there.
Actually, yeah, Dusty was there.
I mean, he was there, but
Search
if
your memory
Nuri,
banks.
if not, it depends. Actually, before I say he does this and confirm this as an activity that occurs, I would like a high or low from, we'll say, this is more of a DM thing. Emily,
Ooh, a high or low for
high or
me.
low?
Let's go high.
Ooh, all right. This is so he's yeah, he does say that. He does do that. He kind of shrugs. He's like, I'm not sure. To which Amara says, "You were there too." He's like, "Yes, I suppose things got a little bit chaotic. Um, I was, to be honest, I was kind of focused on trying to um, keep our babysitter from dying. I wasn't paying too much attention. My apologies."
Uh, so if Amaris and everyone's still walking, Nuri's literally there, just like confused, watching Amaris leave.
You've
And then
got
like,
Douse next to you still.
well,
He's
it doesn't
still.
change what she's doing. She'll take another swig. She's like halfway through her flask already.
Is this a bottomless flask or?
I think it's just a normal flask.
Yeah, it's just a normal one.
Okay. Well, regardless, Dawson will be like, "Hey, can I have a quick swig?" Because he's still trying to process as well.
She lets him have a swig. She seems to hesitate for a moment to like let the flask pass, and then she gives it.
He doesn't take much. We just like takes a quick swig, gives it back, and then just like, okay, and then starts following. So he's like, he just got hit by a nuke and doesn't know how to process it.
Like, what?
End game, end game.
Alrighty, so you guys all head back to the tavern. When you head back in, let me.
Real quick, Amaris isn't heading back to the tavern.
Oh, okay. Everyone's following you.
I mean,
Mostly in the
it,
direction of the tavern. If she like walks off, then let her, I guess.
All right, Amaris, where are you going?
Amaris is gonna go find someone who can give her the command word for the time piercer.
Okay, so say you're gonna hit the library.
Sure.
Okay. Alrighty, you veer off and start heading towards the library. Um, Everyone else, where are you off to?
Douse would be like, "Hey guys, I'm gonna just go run a few errands. Stock up on supplies before we head out again. That kind of stuff. I'll be over in the markets. Uh, Meet you guys back in at the end in a bit or whatever."
Nori's gonna take out her bag of platinum again and chuck it at Douse. Be like, hit up the guards, will ya? I
I
have
told
to talk
you.
to someone.
Listen, what I did for you because I felt like you had your good reason and that you could do a lot of good, better good than in jail. I don't know this Graham guy. I am not comfortable going up to bat for him.
When you say the like part of like she had her good reasons and stuff, and that part before you got to Graham, you like could see that she like physically like shrivels in.
If you want to help Graham out, by all means do it. But I don't know the guy that well.
Yeah, not
And he
well
just
enough because his name's actually Garm.
That's the best part.
yeah, I'm not even gonna change that. He's been calling him Graham.
Yeah, that's good.
He's, he's gonna
I might
get
have
back
typed
the
it in
money.
wrong. That might be a Nuri fail. Sorry.
No, I think I wrote it as Garm as well in the notes.
So Dusty's kind of between the two. He's like, so like paying bail type thing for Garm, or what are we talking about?
Fail.
Bail.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm going to be going to his trial hearing, so I mean, I guess I could. And he kind of like holds out his hand. He's like, I mean, I'll be there.
Okay. She hands you the money, and if there's any left, great, but otherwise, don't worry about it. It's a bag of 80 platinum.
Good, good, good. Neither of you are gonna do it.
You guys keep talking. I will be back in just one moment.
Okay. So Dusty, he kind of accepts it, and he's like, "Thanks. Yeah, this is all a bit complicated, but we'll get through it. It'll be okay."
Yeah, yeah. Douse, where are you going?
I'm just
Errands?
yeah, basically restocking up on food and whatnot, as well as anything else we need.
Hmm.
Did you have something in particular you wanted to grab?
No, that's fine.
Dusty requests, treats for the trip.
No, I think I'm all right. I don't believe I need too much. I might stop by the someplace I might be able to acquire some armor, but I would like to handpick it if that's all right.
No problem at all.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll meet up later then. Um yeah. he just kind of like, you know, things were a lot less complicated in the desert. But I still am glad that I am here with you guys. Even with the complications that it has brought, it's good to be around other people. Just throwing that out there.
Nuri's gonna
Good.
pat your back, just like nods in agreement. And we'll...
I like the comment from Megan in our chat. Douse, Dusty, want any treats for the road? Dusty, nervous robot noises.
What are you
Yeah,
gonna
about
even
that.
tell Douse? That's just so funny to me.
It is kind of silly, yeah.
At this point, I feel like it's more just like the opportunity hasn't presented itself, but I love that it hasn't.
Just hasn't.
Especially because Douse even freaking saw him for a
Yeah, it is
moment.
kind of funny.
I love how
Yeah.
Douse has kind of like pushed that into the back of his memory of like I'm just going to never remember this.
You know what? We'll have Dusty's actually gonna say something. He's gonna say, also, Douse, we should have a chat today sometime. Just in
Oh,
private, the two of us. Just something brief.
some men things.
I'm gonna be honest.
If you're up
I
for
don't
it.
know how much more I could process today after what I just learned.
Hey, if you need some time, I totally understand.
Tomorrow morning?
Thumbs up.
Awesome.
Sounds good.
That's another one of the party wants to vanish.
Let's hope not.
Anyways, let's go.
Nuri's just like awkwardly standing there as they were talking,
Yeah.
and then is like takes a swig and then walks away.
I figured
Come here,
Douse Douse heads out. Nuri just kind of begins walking. Dusty's just like, Does he still have some time before he has to go to the hearing? If not, he'll just kind of hang out with Nuri until then.
Yeah, you probably have to get to the hearing about now because it's been getting a little later in the day, so.
Boo womp. Boo womp. SpongeBob boo womp noise.
Womp.
That's the sound that they make when they're sad. In case you're unfamiliar.
Good to know. I'm just gonna keep us here on the map page.
Yeah,
Alrighty.
Douse is just going to go over to Blind Frost to go grab some of the new stuff. To
Yeah.
restock on supplies. Just quick pop by. And...
Just quick pop by on like a month or two's journey, just just quick.
Just a hop, skip, and a jump.
Step away. Okay. So Douse is going out essentially shopping. Amaris is going to the library. Dusty is going to the trial hearing, and Nuri is.
She's first gonna hit up the inn to talk to a tour, and then she's going to the library.
Okay. Alrighty, so we're gonna do this in an order to make it through everything tonight.
Could we roll for initiative?
Roll for initiative. I will say I will make sure that Amaris does go before Nuri, due to like timing things.
She's gonna go before Nuri.
Well, that's easy. It's a nat one.
That's gonna be easy.
I'm putting that one on the board.
Okay, Douse is first.
It's a good thing this wasn't a real battle. That's all I'm saying.
Hey,
Wow,
Douse will be
Megan,
fine.
you rolled a 4 and Nuri got a 3.
I rolled a 4 and Nuri got a 3.
Wow. Okay, so we're gonna go do Douse, Dusty, Amaris, Nuri. Sound good?
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty, never split the party. No. Alright, Douse, where are you off to first?
He's just gonna go to a local grocer.
Okay. Yeah, so it's not so much of like a grocer as it is like an outdoor market that you find that's selling all kinds of different like fruit and vegetables, wheat, uh like milled wheat and stuff, flour, um just all sorts of different products. It's like a huge open square just full of different booths selling different farm products.
Okay. I have forgotten which recipes Douse has memorized at this point.
Did you not write them down?
I think I did, but I have 2 different notes currently. So it must be my other set.
No, one of them was like a pie, and I think there was
Yeah,
like
I was like, was it
bread.
apple pie?
It was like the cheese.
Apple pie,
Yeah, I think it
bread,
was apple pie, and then you had like
apple pad.
apple pie.
Cinnamon something? I think he had something cinnamon related.
Yeah,
I feel
think it
like
was cinnamon rolls and bread rolls.
Well,
I think
Douse will get.
also Girth's famous cheese and regular bread.
Did I get the cheese? I thought it was just the bread.
Maybe it was just the bread. Oh, no. She told you the recipe was for her cheese bread was you just need cheese in.
Okay.
Yeah, so pretty much she gave you the recipe for both because they're basically the same thing. One just has one more additional ingredient.
There
You
we go.
sprinkle some cheese on top.
I found my notes that have the other stuff.
Perfect.
Oh, he's got truffle jerky as well.
Oh
And
yeah.
honey butter.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay, but now the cinnamon honey butter at Texas Roadhouse, fire.
So yeah, just he'll get the rest or things he needs for the apple pie and the jerky. Um, and then enough for just one loaf of bread.
Okay. Yeah, you kind of have to like have actually you have to quarter the recipe. Sorry, for the bread recipe, because Girth made it like it gave you the recipe for like a huge batch, so you have to like cut it down to size.
Okay. But
Alrighty.
yeah,
So yes,
if you really want
so
to go into haggling, we can, but I figure we could just skip it.
yeah, for all of the materials to make those, how many pies are you wanting to make? How much jerky? Um,
um, probably a good. Let's see. There's one, two, three, four of us. Maybe 16 things of jerky since they last long.
okay.
Um, two pies, and then one thing of bread.
Okay. So I'm gonna say to get all of the ingredients for the bread, it's going to like with all of the ingredients, it'll take you cumulatively about 1 silver. For the apple pies, um, are you like talking to the shopkeepers as you're purchasing, or you're just going and grabbing and paying?
He tried to haggle a little bit if he could get maybe a bulk deal of something where you're like, hey, if I buy these and maybe some like hot dogs for the sticks to put over a fire.
Yeah, of like this and this. Can I get a bulk deal? Yeah, okay. For the jerky, the meat seller will give you a bulk sale if you amp the amount of jerky that you want to make up to 24.
All right.
Um, and to 24 pieces of jerky, and for that it's going to cost you 3 silver because meat is
Okay,
expensive.
so far that's been 4 silver.
4 silver. For the pie, I'm gonna say that's going to cost you 1 silver per pie.
Okay, so 2 silver.
Yeah. And as you're picking out the fruit, the vendor does say that like her apples are fresh, absolutely crisp. Um,
He'll buy an extra one for the road to
all
just kind
right,
of stack on.
perfect. That's gonna cost you 1 copper.
All right. After that, he would want to do a little bit of research on Wei to find out what she is exactly,
Okay.
because he has the idea, but he like wants to do some more to see if she shows up in any of the books, whatnot.
Okay.
So he would make his way to the library eventually.
Alrighty, the library meetup. Okay. What exactly are you going to be studying on?
Mostly just folklore to see if there's any
Folklore of what?
of the um where he picked her up, the primordial plane, I am
The
elemental
elemental planes?
planes. Yes, I was like, where the why
You're
is
like,
the word not coming?
where did I get her?
So
Okay.
yeah, just the elemental planes and kind of like ancient beings that are
Alrighty.
over there.
Good to know. All right, and we will come back to you at that point. Now to Dusty. Hey, Dusty.
Hello.
Um, Dusty, you head over to the uh, guard tower, or the what's the place? The barracks. That's the word. That's a word. You head over to the barracks, basically, where there are two guards at the entrance, a bunch of like other guards kind of like practicing swordplay on like dummies, practicing archery on like targets and stuff. Um, kind of like out in this big courtyard in front, that you didn't really notice too much because it was still dark out by the time you were bringing Garm back, and I mean it was a bit in chaos. But now that it's like daytime, you notice this big courtyard that's around the barracks where all these guards are practicing their skills, and there's one area where they're practicing like hand to hand, and they have like a big carpet laid out in kind of a big circle carpet that you can tell they're using as like a ring as they kind of like are squaring up and practicing hand to hand combat. Um, you you sorry, excuse me, I don't know why I'm so coffee today. Probably just need a water. Um, but yes, so you kind of see all this going on, and as a couple people kind of like put their eye on you as you're heading towards the barracks, but most people will like kind of look over, note that you are there, and then go back to what they were doing. Um, and you can head up to the guards at the door.
Um,
Stop. Uh, state your business.
I'm here to participate in Garm's trial today, his hearing.
Oi.
Just a friend.
Yeah. He turns to his other guard. He goes, This this loaf just wants to participate in a trial. How
He
boring.
just kind of shrugs. He's like, "Yeah, but I figure someone's got to be there for Garm."
Eh, good on you for defending the kid. He's an idiot, though, so don't defend him too hard.
He just kind of shrugs. Like, oh well.
All right, head on in. And you can head on in. They open the door.
He 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 enters and just kind of feeling a little bit. He's like, I wouldn't call him stupid. He's just like, I don't know, but whatever.
Yeah. Alrighty. You head on down there. Sorry, excuse me. I don't know why. Um, I don't believe I wrote down the name of the town guards, the captain of the guard at all. Okay, I didn't. So I can make it up. Yes. Alrighty.
But just know, I'm going to add it to our notes now.
Oh no, I'm adding it to my notes too. I'm gonna write guard captain. Alrighty, so you head on down and you notice the tall, dark-skinned guard captain again. Um, as he's talking to another guard and he's like, "All right, bring Garm up. We're gonna put his little trial on and sorry, that wasn't his voice. All right, uh, bring Garm on up, and we'll go ahead and we'll get this trial started. Sir, from yesterday.
Yep. Hello.
Hello. What was your name, sir?
The name's Dusty.
Dusty. Good to meet you.
Yeah, good to be here. So, should
Oh,
I?
sorry. I should probably introduce myself as well.
Oh,
Sorry.
yes, of course. Go ahead.
Yes.
Apologies.
Um.
I'm just a little bit. Just got some stuff going on. Just a little bit.
No, you're fine. It's Captain Callian.
Kellyanne,
Mm-hmm.
good to meet you, sir.
Yes. I hear you are. Oh, well, you're here to attend the trial for Garm.
Yes.
All right. Well, you can take a seat here, and he points to like a wooden stump.
Perfect.
Alrighty. Um, you kind of are waiting there for well, maybe 2 minutes, so not too long. You notice that the room that you're in is pretty small. That you've been brought into. There's a little table, very small, like table. It's rectangular. Um, and on the opposite end of the short end of this, there's a small wooden chair that Captain Kallian is sitting in, and there's another wooden chair that's just a little bit further away that actually, sorry, it's not wooden, it's a metal chair and it's bolted into the ground. Um, and a guard comes in and he brings Garm up. Garm's complying. He's just got um like a chain and cuffs, metal chain and cuffs around his wrists. Um they don't seem to be particularly tight on him. He doesn't seem to be uncomfortable. You can tell he's hanging his head though. He seems very um shameful, guilty. Um as they go and they tell him to sit down in the metal chair and he sits down. Um and they go and the guard that was like directing him there, he goes, "Hey, this is just protocol," and he um, cuffs his arms to the metal chair arms, so that way he can't get up. And Garm nods, and he's like, It's all right." Um, and Captain Kalyan stands up. He's got a couple documents in front of him as he goes, "Well, Garm, this is a simple trial, really. We want to keep this short and sweet, but well, sweet not so much, but we need to talk about your crimes against the city." And Garm just kind of like hangs his head, um, very ashamed. Um, and Captain Killian, you notice that he kind of notes on this and uh, looks down at his paper. And he goes, "Garm, you have stolen from another member of the society. You have used magics that you were unfamiliar with, have damaged multiple properties, and caused mass panic and hysteria around the entire city. Now we've gotten most of it." I'm sorry, the comments in our little side chat here. Uh Sierra just goes death toll, and Greg goes sentenced to death by vicious mockery. That's just horrible.
Unfortunate way to go. Poor guy.
Poor guy. No,
I mean, with
no.
how guilty he's feeling, it might not be hard to do with the vicious
Oh,
mockery.
it won't be. It wouldn't be. Um, well, anyways, he's like, there are a staggering amount of accusations against you, gone. Do you deny them? And Garm kind of looks up a little bit and he goes, "No, I don't deny them. I'm sorry. I wish I could make it up in some way because I feel really dumb of what I did, and I'm sorry. I didn't intend for people to get hurt." Um, and the guard captain, Captain Kalyan, he goes, "Well, thankfully, no one died last night. People were injured, but no one died. There are still people." I just cannot look at the chat. That's what I can't. Um, there are still people who are injured and well, mentally scarred by what a horrific sight that was last night. Um, but seeing as you have nothing else to say for yourself, and Gum's like, just that I wish I could fix it. He goes, all right. Well, Gum, due to what you have done, the sentence is not a happy one, normally. It's, well, generally for these things. And he kind of like picks up a book that's actually surprisingly kind of a small book. And he kind of looks at it and he's like, well, I mean, these laws are archaic when you think about it. Um, but I have talked with the king and his counselors and his advisors and everything. And don't worry, you're not going to die because that is technically the sentence in here. And like I said, I think that's archaic. You see Garm kind of like releases like pent up breath. Um, as you hear that, he goes, no, but your sentence is, and the only reason that you're getting a lighter sentence is due to the fact that you are truly apologetic. And, well, Garm, I know you. I know you wouldn't do this thing on purpose. And we want to make sure that this doesn't happen again. And Garm is like nodding his head. And the guard captain goes, you have 2 months in the stocks, and then after that, a full year of community service. You are not to cast magic during any of this time, nor are you to study the art of magic. If you are caught in the act, you will be put back in the stockades and you will be reevaluated on this sentencing. As for now, that's your punishment, and that will become public by the town crier by tomorrow morning. And Garm is like, thank you. I'm very happy that I get to make this up to you, sir. And he goes, I'm glad you'll make it up. Well, now I guess go back to your new room. And Captain Callion waves him away, and the guard unbuckles him from the chair, and the guard himself also seems actually very pleased with the outcome of this. And they bring him back to the cell. And Captain Callion pulls his papers together and he kind of taps them to get them all in order on the table and puts the book on top. And he turns to you, Dusty, and he goes, well, that was it. So I apologize, there wasn't really much for you to watch.
He shrugs. He says, I was mostly here just for support. I figure, I mean, I haven't known Garm for long, but it seems like he's a bit of a, I don't know, skittish. He seems to be, he seems really nice, though. He seems kind.
He's a good lad. He lost his family a while back, but he's a good lad.
See. Well, I do have something. I know that the town has had quite a bit of distraught from this event. And I know some buildings were damaged. Our party, we've come together to see if we could help out in some way, and we've set aside some of our funds to help pay perhaps for repaired damages. On the this all, of course, being on the honor of Garm. We were just impressed by him and his willingness to seek retribution. We know he doesn't quite have the funds to do something like this, so
Yeah.
we thought we'd pitch in.
Well, that is mighty kind of you. You're with an adventuring party, are you not?
Yes, we are.
What's your name? Like your party name?
Um, our party is the Shards of Hope.
Shards of Hope. Well, your your contribution into helping the town and to helping Gom will be greatly appreciated, and we'll make sure you get the credit that you deserve.
No need for that. It just make sure that people understand that Garm really did want to help out.
We will. I'll make sure of it personally.
As for logistics, how would you like me to deposit this?
You can hand it off to me, and I'll make sure that it gets to where it needs to go.
Okay, that makes things a little bit easier. Here, I have it with me.
Oh, all right.
Like, takes off his pack. He still's kind of sitting down. He reaches in and pulls out the sack filled with coinage, and he hands it up towards the guard captain.
Alrighty. The guard captain walks over. He grabs the bag and he kind of weighs it and he's like, "Oh, it's a lot of coinage in there, but it's mighty appreciated. We'll make sure that this goes into repairing buildings, and I'll make sure that a portion is set off for him."
Of course. And he kind of like begins putting his bag back together and sets up. Well, good luck then. Thank you for all you do. I appreciate the kind sentencing.
Yes. Well, there's got to be at least some good in this world, and that's the whole reason I became captain, is to try and do justice, try and do right by people. And he kind of like grabs the book. Well, I mean, he's already holding it, but he kind of waves it up in the air and he's like, "These old laws, these were all put in place hundreds of years ago, and a lot of places just think we need to abide straight by these. But I've been trying to put together a group of people to try and petition some new rewrites to some of these laws. With times that are changing, I think some new conditions, new punishments need to be put in place rather than just, hack and slashing everyone who does wrong."
Yeah, I understand. That's good of you.
Yeah.
Thank you for what you do for the town.
I appreciate that. Not every guard's a good guard, but we try to be. That's the whole principle of being a guard, of being, an enforcer here. We try to do right, and we try to do good by the law, and deal out good justice.
All right. Well, I'll let you get back to it. I do have to meet up with my party, so
So, of course, you have a good rest of your day, sir.
you as well. And Dusty will kind of like begin moving towards the door.
All right. You begin moving towards the door and you head on out.
We'll say he heads over towards
The library.
No, not the library. I refuse. This will not be natural. No, he's actually gonna head over to see if he can find somewhere where he can purchase some armor.
Okay,
He does
like
need
a blacksmith.
armor. Yeah, like a blacksmith.
Okay. You can start heading towards a blacksmith. On that note, we are going to switch over to Amaris here real quick.
All right, Amaris makes her way to the library, and she is going to start looking for anything that she can find on Time Piercer.
Alrighty. So when you enter into this library, the doors are closed, but there are like two guards on either side. They look at you and they let you in. Um, as it is still like daytime hours and the library is open. It's actually open. Sierra. uh,
Right.
um,
Knowledge is just really important, you guys. It's
it
very
is.
valuable.
When you enter in, this is a grand building. Just very, so the whole building itself is very circular in nature, um, and very tall with lots of like marble pillars, um, and like at least 4 levels of bookshelves of, well, there's like 4 floors and there's just every wall is covered in bookshelves. Um, and there's just so many in here. You do notice that there is a receptionist counter, um, with a very fancy, as you kind of like enter in, as you're seeing this beautiful, clean, pristine area, and you see this little marble receptionist counter. Everything's very nice and pretty in here. There is a tabaxi, with nice, uh, what's the word? Where it's like orangish yellow cat
Tabby?
tabby. Maybe a tabby,
I don't know. I don't know cats.
Megan?
Abby or Ginger?
Ginger. That's the word. That's the color. It's like ginger kind of colored. Um of the just this little cat, and she's wearing just a white robe on her, and she's sitting on like this chair behind the counter. It looks like she's writing something down, but actually, as you notice that on one side of the counter there is kind of a little bit of an indent that has like some polished gold, um, in this little like circular divot, and kind of projecting up is this big diagram of, kind of like a hologram diagram of the entire library, in this big blue flowy magic energy. You notice there are other people
Amaris,
walking around as well.
Amaris is gonna head up to the desk. Excuse me.
Tavaxi kind of looks up, and as she looks up, you're close enough now to notice that she was actually just drawing a flower in on like a sketch pad, and she quickly closes the sketchbook, um and she goes, "Oh, yes."
I was wondering if you could help me find a book on a specific item.
Oh, a specific item? What's the item that I can help with?
It's called a time piercer.
Time piercer. Okay. Is it magical, I'm assuming?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Let's see if I can find something on there. And you see her kind of go over to this like glowing hologram of the library, and she kind of reaches and touches the center of like where the divot is, and kind of touches and drags her finger out, and you notice that like a little keyboard with little common runes on it appears, and she kind of types in, she goes, um time quaker, you said, or time breaker?
Time time piercer.
Time piercer. Okay. She types it in, and she goes, not seeing something on that. Um, oh, maybe to try it with the I before the E. Time piercer? Um,
I already love this tabaxi.
I'm getting a couple pings. As you notice that there's a couple little like red dots in the diagram, of the entire library that start pinging. And she goes, "Oh, okay, now let me refine the search. Time piercer, comma, magic item. And then it glows into like one dot. And she goes, okay, that's going to be in our magical relic section. Just on floor 2, go to section AB. Um, and then it's going to be under the code AB21634.
Thank you very much. And she's gonna like turn to go head in that direction, but then stops and quickly turns back. That was a cute flower, by the way. And then she's gonna go.
Oh, she kind of puts her hands up to her nose and she's like, oh.
Wait, you know that have you ever seen cats do the thing where like it's usually when they're asleep, but they like stretch out their paws and then just like kind of do that.
Yeah, that's
I,
basically
I
what
kind
she
of
does.
imagine that just like, oh.
Yeah, that's what she does.
And with
Alrighty.
that, Amaris is gonna go find the book.
Alrighty. Perfect. So you head up to the second floor. There's just a big spiral staircase in the center that will lead you up to the separate floors. Um and then you head on up and it takes you a hot minute to find section AB. And then after that, you're like, "All right, what was the number?" Megan, can you remember what you're looking for?
You don't ask me those kinds of things, Emily. You know I have a bad memory.
You're not allowed.
It was just like 2 minutes ago.
What if she just makes a history check and then like
Yeah,
tries
make history
really
check.
hard? That was a lot of numbers and digits and stuff.
I
It
did write down the
was.
number, guys.
Okay, please, 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 please. Okay, that's an 18. That's not bad.
18. That's pretty good. You remember, and I'm not going to say it again. You remember that it is AB21634. You're like, memorize, memorize. AB21.
All right, I am going to go find AB 21634.
Yeah, Douse, you put it in wrong. It's 634.
I'm very proud
Oh.
of myself. I was only one number off. Like when I was
Really?
memorizing it after she said it, I was only one number off, and that was the 2. But everything
Yeah.
else was in the right order.
Joke's on you,
Oh.
Douse. I wrote it in my book.
Oh, there we go. NCDC.
Yeah, we're all putting our memorized things in the chat.
Ah.
Yeah. Someone put an ACDC. Good.
I mean, to be fair, I did actually mess it up by accident. I couldn't remember if it was 3-6 or 6-3.
Yeah.
But AJR.
AJR. Alrighty. So you manage, as you're like muttering the number over and over again to yourself, you do find the book. It's this big heavy volume that's got this big leather cover on it. And it seems to be embossed with this golden threading. Um and you pull the book out and it's pretty heavy. Like you remember Hermione and how big that history of Hogwarts was book that she pulls out.
Hogwarts, a history.
Yeah, Hogwarts history, sorry. It's basically
Fuck.
like that. And it's like, oh, and there's like a little table. There's tables and chairs and little glowing like wear lights or dancing lights kind of all around. So there's light around here. Um Oh, I'm so sorry. I forgot one part about this library. Is also when you were at the receptionist desk, she did cast like dancing lights, and so there's an orb that's following you around, just giving you light.
Cool.
So
Could have
just so
done
you
that
know,
myself, but cool.
they provide it for people who don't use magic.
Nice.
Um,
So I am going to get the book and struggling a little bit with how big and heavy it is. Gonna get it to a table.
All right, you smack it
Roll a
down on
strength
a table.
check. No.
Roll a strength. Well, it takes you a minute, but you do get the book down. And it goes. And the title is just Magical Weapons and Lore. That's it.
All right, so she's going to flip to the table of contents and look for Time Piercer.
Oh, perfect. I'm glad you mentioned that because there is a table of contents. Um, and so you go in and you actually notice that the table of contents seems to be like a newer page than the rest of the tome. Like there wasn't a table of contents, but the library has added it in for people who are reading the book, and there's like a little like stamp on it that says like on the it's stamp on there that's like owned by the library at Sunshield, like the Sunshield Grand Library. um yeah. But you
Seriously,
can
how did
flip
they
to.
get this page in?
Yep, they
So yeah,
woven in.
she's gonna look for Time Piercer and then turn to that page.
All right, you do find Time Piercer and you flip over to that page. It's kind of near the back of the book, because it's alphabetical.
Yeah.
You flip over to it, and it gives you all sorts of information. So it tells you what the Time Piercer is and how this blade was lost in the ages. It used to be owned by many heroes who would fight the battle of good and evil. Basically, kind of giving the legend of how Time Piercer was used to pierce the very veil of time itself, um, and how it was lost to the ages.
Amaris like skims over those parts and is just like, okay, that's, and like this is what's going through her mind. She's like, okay, that's cool, but I just need the command word. And she's gonna keep reading.
Alrighty. Oops. Let me write this down real quick. Okay. As you're kind of looking through it, um, high or low, actually. We're gonna put that to a high or low to see if the command word is in the book.
Oh, these have not been working in my favor. Let's go high.
Okay. It was low. I am so sorry.
Man, the high and lows have not been working out for Amaris. This is so
They have not.
sad. This
So
is
it
so
does not
sad.
seem like it's in there.
Mars is gonna flip back to the table of contents and see if there's anything about command words or phrases there.
As you flip back, it doesn't have a section on command words or phrases. Even just kind of skimming through, trying to find anything that's similar to that, you don't find anything. It seems to be each weapon specific.
I'm just gonna flip back to the Time Piercer page and look through it again.
Okay. You double through it again, and you don't find anything.
Does she find any hints?
Um, no, it doesn't. It does say that it has a use of a command word to use its special ability, but the command word was lost to time.
The sands of time.
The sands of time. Yeah, it says to the sands of time. We're gonna go with that.
Dang. The author has a sense of humor.
He he. Yeah.
Mars is gonna lean back in her chair, kind of frustrated, before closing the book and putting it back on the shelves. She's going to head back to the reception desk. There were there were other books with Time Piercer in it, right?
Well, that was just in our that one was in our magic weapons section, like magical artifacts and stuff. Um, there were a couple others. If you would like to try and look at them, you can.
Yes, please.
Okay, one is in our fiction books section. Um, would you like to go look at that one?
Yes, please.
Okay, that is going to be ZYK 536124. Oh, and
All
that's
right.
going to be
Were
up on
there
floor 4.
um were there any others?
Yeah, so that was the fiction one, and she goes back to like this Googling it basically. And she goes, "Oh, and there was one other, in our nonfiction. Um, that's a big area. Let me see if I can refine the search here. Um, as she like continuously, her tail's kind of like flicking back and forth in the chair. Um, yep. And she goes, "Okay, this seems to be in our historical section. Um, and that one is going to be specific in world history. That is on, well, that's going to be on floor 3. So that's going to be MNOP 2536789110.
Right. And those were the only other ones, right?
Yes.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And she's going to go
Okay.
find the books.
Alrighty. You say that, and she goes, "Oh, wait. Let me add some more light to your timer, or time to your light." And you see her kind of like press a little like something behind the counter, and then she kind of like has her finger is glowing like a little blue light, and she kind of flicks it over, and the little wear light that has been like kind of buzzing around your head giving you light just like glows a little bit brighter.
Oh, thank you. And
Yeah,
she's
of
going to go.
course. Alrighty.
Um,
You head over. Which one are you going to
so,
first?
well, since floor 3 is closer, she's going to go there and look for book MNOP 2536789110.
Perfect. Yes, you got it right on the ball. Wow, I'm so proud. Alrighty. Okay, so you head on up there. This has been taking you a little bit of time, but you do manage to make it up to floor 3, and your legs are tired from all the stairs. Um, and you do manage to make it up there. You go find the section, and you are able to search and find the book. Um, this one is on world history. As you kind of flip through to find, this one doesn't have a table of contents per se. It's just more of like a historical book. So you'll have to be reading through the pages to find where it says time and talks about the time piercer, or where it says time
Yeah.
piercer.
Yeah. She's going to flip through.
Okay, I want you to roll an investigation check as you are investigating the book.
Okay. That's my investigation. Not very good.
This is intense.
But that is a nat 20.
Oh, nat
Ah.
20.
Oh shoot, with the +0. Yeah,
Okay.
Hey.
Dane's comment, just hit Control F and you will get a search bar.
it's pretty simple.
Control F time piercer. That's how high tech this library is. High magic, high fantasy. Hey.
Imagine if we had stuff like this in real life.
Oh man, that would be crazy awesome.
Wild, wacky, and cool.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you start investigating, and it does take some time. But you kind of like are skimming through the pages, not really taking account, but you see the word time piercer, and you're like, okay, let me read this section. And this section is talking about um uh world history and a battle between the Versailles dynasty and the Akosha kingdom that happened like 150 years ago. This was after, or sorry, 150 springs ago. Um, this was what they recounted as about 50 springs after the scattering. Um, and the war itself was more about land control, but this took place in the desert. And it was so hot out there that soldiers were passing out and dying from just the heat itself. Uh, the time piercer was used by the general in command, General Havershanks, um, who fought in this battle on the side of the Versailles dynasty, but he fell in battle. And so the majority of the desert went to the Akosha kingdom, but even then, neither kingdoms truly really occupy the desert very much. Um, just due to the extreme heat in there. And most of the people who live out there are nomadic and don't prescribe to any one kingdom or dynasty. But that's it. That's all you can find on the time piercer.
All right, so that one's a bust. Close it. Put it back on the shelf. Make my way to floor 4 to find ZYK 536124.
Alrighty, you find it. Oh, I'm so glad you remembered. You wrote these down. Makes me feel happy. My little internal librarian, I guess. But you head up there. Um, you're starting to research up here, and you find the book, and it's entitled um, A Warrior's Journey.
Right, take it to a desk, start flipping through.
Alrighty. It details the story of Sanandra, a human girl whose village was ravaged by orcs, and her journey as she goes and tries to increase her skills and become a fantastic warrior so she can take her village back over and kill the ones who killed her family and seek revenge. Greg's digging this. And her journeys led her through the desert, where she found the time piercer, a blade that could pierce time itself, and she struggled with the thought of her possibly going back into time and maybe restarting all of this. But she would need to know the command word in order to use this sword.
This is
And
the good part.
she went on this adventure to find the command word, which she met many friends along the way, and ultimately led her to a cave deep in the heart of the jungle, where the jungle that it resides on. Actually, this is not on your thing. It is in my other thing. Give me one moment while I pull up the island, because you can actually add this to your map.
Hmm.
Um, go to it. I did not think that this would be happening today, so let me go and snack that. Okay, it is. Oh my gosh, I did not write it in here. Oh wait, no, I wrote it in a different thing. Huh. Not in that file, but in this file. Sorry guys, it was taking forever. Okay. There's too many pages in here. Okay. Okay. No. Hmm. Oh shoot. Okay, give me 1 second while I pull out my map.
And with that, Amaris burns the library to the ground.
Out of
And
pure
that's another
frustration.
place. And guys, we're gonna run out of money quick if we keep trying to.
It turns out that the command word was the friends we made along the way.
That phrase exactly.
Yeah. The friends we made along the way.
I was gonna ask. Amaris didn't say where she was going, right?
No.
I
Back to the
Okay.
group.
Just because it was one of those thoughts, I was like, Douse probably has no idea where she's at. Like he knows she went that direction, but he didn't follow her. So it's like it's gonna be pure happenstance if he runs into her at the library. Is my thought process.
This is my my giant DM binder from when we had
Yes.
in-person games. Okay. Oh, okay. All right, so the story leads her deep into the jungle in this um in the Tidia dynasty, which it shows because there's a drawing of the world and it's got a map. Let's add the Tidia dynasty. Then we're gonna do a little arrow. Nope, I do not like that. We're deleting that arrow. Okay. Alrighty, this island in the bottom right, part of it is the Tidia dynasty. Deep jungles. But anyways, her adventure led her to this cave in the deep jungle where she discovered the command word for Time Piercer and how, with this new command word, she would be able to return to her village and be able to either, well, defeat them and continue on as she was, or she could rewind time and make it as if it never happened. So she had a choice to make. She had so many amazing friends that she had met along the way, and to her, it was too much. She had found her new family. So, with this, her heart healed, and so she didn't actually um, go back in time. But she did go back to her village to get rid of the orc scum that had infected it. But when she got there, they had built their own village over it, and there were many orc children running around, and she didn't have the heart. She didn't have the heart to kill them, as they had killed her family, and so she thought she would move on. And so, as she turns and continues on with her friends off into the sunset, she looks at Time Piercer, her blade, and just says, "Time on, time flows. Thank you, Time Piercer." and buries it into the dirt and moves on.
But does it say the command word?
The command word in this book, it does say that the command word in this book is Tidia. Like from the kingdom, the Tidia dynasty.
Amaris closes the book, puts it back on the shelf, and just kind of like taps her finger on the shelf.
Okay.
Well, let's see if this works. And she leaves.
Okay. Well, we're gonna pause on that real quick. As we turn to Nuri.
Well, I went back to the tavern. Once I get there, DM, remind me, Sierra, someone had told me to talk to Atura, right?
Val did.
Right. Okay. And was he just saying to talk to her, or had he talked to her and she said talk to?
Yeah,
like
so
she said, he said.
he had smoothed things over with Atora and talked to her a little bit, and she said that she was willing to talk to you. If you would like to bring up the conversation that you guys had before.
Okay. So when she gets to the tavern, she'll actually go to the bar first.
Okay.
And ask. Well, okay. First, so she'll sit down at the bar.
Okay.
She'll pretty much just take a couple more swigs from her flask while she's like studying the design of it and like tracing it.
Mm-hmm.
And she's just thinking about everything Val said the night before, everything that just happened, and then like her mind is then like wandering off to her own brother. And then after like another couple swigs, the thing's getting pretty low, and so she'll ask the bartender to fill it up with some more whiskey.
Alrighty.
And she'll give him a platinum to do so.
He readily fills it up and pockets the platinum.
Okay. And like while he's like filling it up, she kind of just like lays on the bar. Kind of pitifully. Once she gets her flask back, she's like still there, kind of like laying on the bar, like looking at the flask, and mumbles to herself, "Well, I did as you said." And then she'll sit up and excuse me, bartender. Sorry, my brain's a little fuzzy right now with names, but Atura. Yes, do you know where she is?
I believe she's upstairs.
In a private room, working.
She's cleaning one of the rooms right now.
Awesome. Thank you. And she'll toss her a copper piece.
Alrighty, he takes that and puts it back in the pocket.
She'll go upstairs and find Atura.
Okay. All right, you head upstairs and you notice that one of the room doors is open. And you actually hear this old melody coming from it. A beautiful song um, that just feels very comforting to you in a way that you can't really explain as she sings this song in Sylvan that you notice, and it almost seems like a little bit of a lullaby. Um, but it also doesn't seem like she's like singing it out. No, it's more of just like kind of under your breath, kind of singing, kind of like to a song, and you hear it coming from the room.
Nuri puts the flask like on her waist again, and her fingers are just kind of constantly fiddling with the designs on the flask.
Mm-hmm.
And she'll go to the room and then knock on the door or door frame, depending
You
if
can
it's
knock
open or not.
on the frame. It is open. Um, and the singing instantly stops as you knock on the door frame, and you see Atura, who is is currently smoothing the bed sheets on the bed. As she turns and looks over towards you, and she goes, "Oh, oh, sorry. Oh, Nuri, good to see you." You notice that her hair is actually pulled up in a high ponytail. Over her regular clothes, she's wearing like a little apron that seems to be a little mucky, but not too bad. Just regular like dirt and stuff from cleaning.
She's human again.
She's
She's
an
human,
elf.
right?
No, she's an elf.
Oh, she's an elf. Okay,
Yes.
that makes
An
more
elf
sense.
with like
Okay.
blue hair, silver eyes, slightly she's got like more pale skin that's like slightly tinged blue, but not really very noticeably. Only you can tell.
I did not realize that before. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh, so it finally clicks a Nuri what she's seeing, and
Well,
she's like,
yeah, and also Atura was wearing a lot of like costumes and makeup the last time you saw her.
"That's true. This is true."
Hmm.
Awkward.
And she looks over and she has a uh soft smile, but not very like big, just yeah.
Well, Nuri has a little bit of panic that starts to form in her, but she's hiding it, not as well as Sierra is. And because she's like, it's like, "You're okay? You're not wearing your colors? It's fine." And like, um, Atora, that was a beautiful lullaby you were singing. I haven't heard that one before.
Oh well, it's from my homeland.
Oh, that's so wonderful. Well, my friend Val, not Val, said that I should talk to you again.
Yes, he and I had a delightful conversation. He's a very wonderful man. Well,
Yeah, well,
I shouldn't say wonderful, I should say more good. Very good man.
yes, I completely agree with that statement. Um, what would you like to talk about? Because you have said you don't want to talk about your friend.
Yes, um, her friendship means the world to me, and she values privacy uh, quite a bit. And she does not wish to be discovered by unfavoring parties. And well, I guess with the whole tizzy of Midsummer's Haunt night, that we were both a bit tense and our conversation was not as well communicated. Ah, I do realize that your intentions behind curing this coma are, are good intentions. And I do wish to aid in that in any way possible. I do, however, she kind of goes and steps a little closer towards you as she kind of like dusts her hands off on her apron. She goes, I need to ensure that my friend will remain safe and that her secret will not be spread by anyone that I share this to.
All right. I can do that.
Will you swear to me you will not do any harm towards her, nor will you share it with anyone outside your party?
I swear not to share it with anyone. Yes.
And she's like, her eyes are burrowing into you. And then you see her kind of like raise a fist up, and she goes and raises her pinky and goes, swear upon thine pinky.
All right.
She goes,
She hooks
and then
fingers
she
and she's
pulls
like,
back. She pulls back for a second, and she goes, this is binding where I come from. We value a pinky promise.
yes. I swear upon my pinky that if I break this, it'll be cut off.
That's not what a pinky promise means. It means
Oh,
that
it
only your
isn't? Well,
pinky.
this is a bit more comforting.
Oh no, it means that only your pinky will be left of you.
Oh, that makes sense. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. And they do a pinky you guys do a pinky promise. And she actually falls into a little bit of laughter. Uh and she goes, I appreciate it. Do you trust your companions then?
Yes. With my life, they know more about me than probably anyone should.
Good. Then I trust that you trust that they will keep this secret safe.
Oh, yes, very much so. They won't tell anyone.
Alrighty. Well, I will tell you the information of how you can find my friend. Once the dungeon master pulls up the section on her. Where are you, Christmas? Na, na, na. Okay. Alrighty. Her name is Ray Nymph. I'm going to write this into the chat so you can spell it correctly. Okay. Her name is Ray Nymph, and well, she works and lives in Lake Mount, in the basement of an alchemy shop. She is very distrusting of others, so she won't just give and give everything up to you. She won't open up easily because she is very distrusting of people. So, do your best to gain her trust. But she is the alchemist that people have heard so much about and had rumors flying around her, but she does not wish to be found or discovered by certain individuals.
You know
Where
who
did
those
she say she
individuals
was?
are?
She
Sorry.
has yet to even tell myself, her good friend. She lives in Lake Mount in the Versailles dynasty.
Thank you, Atura. This is very, very helpful, and I will not harm her. Just want to share and exchange information if possible.
Of course. I appreciate that. And I know you'll do right by her. I must confess, Nuri, your eyes are,
She kind of looks down. She like looks back up. My eyes?
yes, they are quite beautiful. They reminded me of home.
Oh, really? Where is your home? Isn't it Versailles Dynasty?
Ah, no, actually. I am actually from the Winter Court, down in the Wilds.
Oh, I've heard that there's courts in the Feywild, but I honestly don't really know much about them. Winter. That's
Roll
cool. So
deception.
everyone has.
Roll deception.
Me?
Against her
What?
insight.
Me? I don't know.
That's what you're talking about.
Cause you're the one who's from the what's the Feywilds? I don't even
Alrighty.
know.
Your
I-
deception was a 16. Her base
Immediate.
roll was a 19.
Well, flip me.
Does it-
I'm
And she
like,
goes,
what?
don't lie to me. We've just made a pinky promise.
I was gonna say, like, we immediately promised to we mean no harm and be good with this person. Immediately distrustful, lying, and
And from the rest of your color scheme, I take it you are
So
from the
she's
sun.
not. She's actually not wearing any of her color stuff. She's still in her desert clothes. That's why I
Okay.
mentioned she looked down with like she says she's like, it's okay. You're not in your colors.
Okay.
She's not
And
in
she
her
goes,
colors.
my original assumption was with your pink hair and all that you would be from the spring court.
Don't know which court I belong to. I actually don't know.
Do you want to roll deception on that?
Yes, because she is technically telling the truth. She doesn't really know
Ah.
which court she belongs in.
Okay.
Technically.
I'm not gonna have you roll on that. Okay. Oh, what happened? If you don't mind me asking.
I
And
lost.
if you're concerned about the whole court rivalry crap that's going on, I don't prescribe to any of it. I talk about my homelands in the Winter Court because I grew up there when I was a young elf with my family, and there was so much bitterness with court rivalries that I decided that I would up and leave at a young age, and well, I decided I preferred being warm to being cold and settled here in Sunshield. And I've been here for a long time. Well, after a bit of an adventuring streak, but ah, I
Hmm.
hope you know that if there is any concern over courts or anything, that is nothing I prescribe to. I think it is ridiculous in my own opinion. Would you like to roll insight on her?
Yes. I would very much like to roll insight. Oh, I did it again. Wait, no, don't count those.
But they're the same number.
They're the
Oh,
same
you're
number.
right.
It was destiny. Both of them
It
were
was.
22.
22. That's pretty good. She seems absolutely genuine when she says that. No conceit at all.
Nuri relaxes, and she's like, "Oh, well, that's good because I've heard so much about the rivalries. I just, since I don't know where I belong, it's very stressful to meet other elves from that area because I don't know how they're going to react to me because I'm not part of it. It's very intimidating. But to answer your question, my parents died. It sounds like a lie, but two of them did.
Yeah.
My parents died, and because of their deaths, I've been on the mortal plane of existence since I was a child, actually. Yes. So yes. I don't know where I belong. It's a little intimidating. But Spring Court. I guess that's a good one, maybe.
I don't know anymore. I don't think any of them are particularly good or bad. I like to think of everyone determines who they are themselves. That their upbringing, their court, their families don't make them who they are. Their choices and their decisions make them who they are. And I like to live by that way because then when I meet someone who's truly a piece of work, I know that they did that to themselves. But people who act out of kindness and serve and help others, I know that that was their choices. That what they have chosen has led them to be in that spot today. And I trust them a lot more for it.
Wise words, good way to live. Well, sorry for my awkwardness. It's don't really interact with other elves in this
That's
way.
all right.
So
Well, a lot of us
I will leave
elves are
now.
very different. Yes, you may go.
Okay.
I'm
Thank
generally
you.
more open than most other elves, so if you ever need anything, Nori, you're always welcome here.
Thank you, Atora. That is very, very kind. You're very kind for winter elf. Yes. Uh
I don't
I'm
really
gonna go now.
prescribe to being a winter elf, but anymore at least.
You're a good innkeeper. Good hiding of the beds.
She
Yes.
just laughs and she goes, "Get out of here, just go."
Okay. Nuri leaves and she's like, she's walking down the stairs. She's like, She was not mentally prepared for that.
Walking down the stairs, she's just like, maybe I've had a bit too much to drink.
She might be. Nope, she actually has the other thought and takes a swig.
I haven't drunk enough.
I
Okay.
haven't drunk enough.
All right, you
And
head
she'll head to the
towards-
library.
Alrighty, you head towards the library. Perfect. So, as you are walking up the steps to the library, you notice that Douse is just barely walking into the library.
Hi, Douse. Nuri's just like really awkward today.
Oh, Hello there.
Hi. Hi.
I just thought I'd come do some research after getting all of our supplies ready.
Research on?
Uh, Way, just figuring out who she is, really. I mean, I know she's there, but I also doesn't hurt to look things up as well.
Ah, I see. Good choice. Yes. Yes. I'm gonna go inside.
Yeah,
Nuri looks like she's seen a ghost. It's very like stiff and awkward. And if you were like put it together, you'd be able to recall that she acted very similar after running into Azon the first time. So it's very similar, like awkward,
yeah.
startled.
Douse does not put two and two together.
That's fair.
I rolled just to see if you would recall that. I rolled a 2.
He's like, wow, she's just really weird.
Weird
He's
today.
assuming it's just from this morning.
Oh, I never noticed how weird Nuri is. He says she just walks past.
She must have
She's
just had a little
so-
too much to drink.
Not enough. There's 2 ways.
But yeah, Douse would hold the door open for her and then follow in.
A gentleman.
Alrighty. You guys head on in and you see this grand, beautiful library. It's actually called the Grand Library of Sunshield. Um, as you come and enter in, oops. I'm actually going to delete the quest marker here in Sunshield because there is no longer a quest here in Sunshield anymore. But you guys head on in and you see the receptionist desk with a ginger tabaxi. At the desk, she seems to be writing something behind the counter. You do see the big glowing orb of the kind of a map of the building.
Nuri's been in a lot of libraries. Have any been up to this level of grandness before? Or is
Nope.
this like a new grand?
Well, this is like a new level of grandness. Like this is one this kind of grandness is one you would expect in capital cities. So, if you've been to any capital cities studying, and honestly, you may have actually even been in this city before into this library. Um, that most capital cities will have a library on this par.
Okay.
Douse would lean over and say, do you want to break into here? Like, whisper that over to her very quietly.
What'd you say?
She leans over, covering her.
And you wanted to break into here.
Looking around.
As he's
Nuri's gonna
noticing
lean.
how big it is.
Nuri's gonna lean down, covering her mouth, so that if someone could read lips like she can, they wouldn't be able to understand. And is like, yes, can't you see why?
Oh my
I
goodness.
assumed it's a very big. I can't think of the words of how you would phrase it, but just kind of like it's a very prideful thing, like hubris. I don't know. He just stumbles over himself. He's trying to figure out how to respond. Like, I want to say something witty. I can't.
It's too grand. You're stunned. It's too amazing.
Hi, can I help you both? The tabaxi speaks up as she says that to you guys.
Yes. Do you mind if I go first? I just need a general thing. I don't need
Go
anything
ahead.
specific. Could you point me to where your books are on the elemental planes, specifically the water area? and
Oh,
perhaps the beings, the denizens therein.
oh, okay. Let's do a search. You see her kind of drag her finger from the middle of this little like indent underneath the diagram, and she pulls it forward, and a little keyboard pops up as she types elemental plane, water, denizens, creatures, dwellers, beings. She's like, oh, sorry, it's not her voice. Like dwellers, beings, folk, people. Mm, I think that should be good. And she like does her little search, and it pings into like one section of the library, and she goes, "Oh, that is going to be on our third floor. Um, and it's going to be in the M the MNO section, under the number MNO 2345789."
Gotcha. Do you have a pen or paper that I can use to write that down with real quick?
Um, she kind of like looks at her little sketchbook, and then closes that and sets it
I
to
can
her
just write it on
desk.
my hand if you have a pen.
Oh,
Nuri passes over her magic quill that can write on anything.
Oh, thank you. What was those numbers again?
MNO 2345789.
45789. You said the third floor?
Yes, third floor.
Okay, is that gonna? Do you know if that would be over on the east side or the west side?
That is going to be up on the, and she kind of like points at the diagram, and it's kind of more, it's more on the northern end.
Okay, thank you. I'll leave you guys to it then. And Douse having his stuff and head off to the third floor.
Nuri magically makes her pen disappear from your
Oh yeah,
hand.
Douse would have given that back.
Okay. She doesn't even make it disappear then. Well then, ma'am, if you don't mind, real quick, couple topics. First one specifically are creatures from before the shattering or would have been involved in the shattering that lived in the realm of death or on the hillside.
That's a very specific search. As she begins to kind of like search for those, um, I'm I'm not getting like any one book that matches the description of everything that you said, but there's like a couple different ones. One is on like the hillside. There's in our healing section. There's another on like the scattering and creatures in the scattering and involved. And then there's another book on necromancy.
Ah, I'll tell you what, love. Why don't you just go ahead and write those numbers down in the book for me?
All in like your book, your sketchbook.
Yeah, she pushes forward her book and with the quill. You can just write all those numbers down and I'll look for all of those. And once you're done with that, I have another topic.
Alrighty, give me just one moment. Um, Alrighty, so the numbers that you get written down are YW42362222.
Do I actually need to write these down if she's
I
written
mean,
these down in my book?
if you want them in your book. Here, let me type them out for you. Or
Grumble.
YW 423. 6222. Then there's MN 2478334. Then there is ACD 255555. What a wonderful library.
Yes, indeed.
And then the other thing would be a book on creating your own magical portals.
Interesting. She searches it, and she's getting no results.
A book on a basic understanding for how to create portals. You know, for spells such as Dimension Door or Plane Shift. You know, basic understandings of those kind of magics.
I can search for a concept. She kind of searches for one. It pulls up magical understanding, of like how to summon a demon for dummies. Yes. Um. Yeah. So she pulls up one ping basically, and she's like, "All right. Let me get that for you." Okay, and that one is AC 3692501. I don't know why this is important to me to put numbers to them, but it is.
This is good. It also implies that they have 3 million different books easily.
Yeah, so many. They have so many.
But again, this is in the AC category. There's the digits are over 3 million. So if we're doing alphabetically, as most libraries do, they have so many books just in the AC category that start with AC that there's over 3 million. But the A category is completely left unchecked. So, I mean, just saying, this is pretty intense.
This is a
Yeah.
big
I'm sure it's
library.
I'm sure it's not sorted exactly like that, but I like to think that it is, and they have like hundreds of thousands of millions of books. Just so many books.
There are a lot. Just rows and rows on books.
And lastly, a last topic. This is super unlikely. It's rather a new field of research, but you never know. Do you have anything specifically on the understanding of souls or soul magic?
I believe we have necromancy stuff.
It's a little more in depth than just necromancy. Necromancy has to do with the body because the soul is left not attached. Or putting. Never mind.
I can do a quick search. As she like searches and there's like nothing being found. Well, actually, no, she just searches soul and there's like a million things found of just like where the word soul is used. And she's like, we might need to refine the search a bit.
Soul
She kind of like
magic?
bites on her nails a little bit.
Understanding the soul?
Understanding the soul. Um,
Ah, yes, the religious section.
Now there's we've narrowed it down to about 10,000 matches.
understanding the soul through necromancy. Maybe try that.
Through necromancy. We've got a
Cult
couple.
books.
That's going to be in our cult section.
Oh, a cult section. Well, that's interesting. What cult is it for, actually? That's very intriguing. I didn't
I'm
know
not
there was
sure.
cults for such
I
things.
can't pull up the specific book on here.
Oh,
Just
never
the
mind. What's the number?
This is going to be CULT 523.
There's only 5,000 books about cults, you guys.
What is your soul telling you?
Thank you so much. And Nuri will take her book back and
Okay.
well, I'll be off then. And she will start going for
Okay, so one book is on the first floor. You've got two on the second floor, one on the third, and another on the fourth.
Well, she'll start lowest to highest. As she's walking towards the first book, she's like a kid in the candy store. She's like, books, books. She gets distracted on her way there a little bit. She stops, pulls out a book or two. One she pulls out, opens, and she's like, oh. And she looks through it fondly as it's her own handwriting from back when she used to copy books for money. And she's like, oh, I remember this one, Cooking for Dummies. She puts it back and keeps going.
I love that. And as you're having this little nostalgia trip, you actually end up bumping into someone. And you look over at this someone and it's Amaris, who also didn't realize it was you, and she's like, Amaris, you just accidentally bumped into Nuri on your way out.
Oh.
Trust
Oh,
you
perfect. I
had
have
the
something I want to
time.
test with you.
Amaris bumps into Nuri and nearly slips on the stairs as she does so, but she catches herself. And then sees that it's Nuri. She turns to say excuse me or sorry or something, and then sees that it's Nuri. And she just stops. And then just goes down the stairs.
Well, you guys were on the first floor.
Oh. Then she's heading towards the door.
Nuri just nods and goes on her way, now going directly to the book instead of perusing the books.
Oh. Okay. Alrighty. Can you write down your searches for each book, Sierra? Because we're not going to get to all of
Yeah.
these in one night.
I'm good with just the general intelligence or whatever, if that
Yeah,
just helps you out.
make an intelligence check.
Or would it be investigation, I guess, because she's searching?
Yeah, let's do investigation.
Well, she finds nothing.
The cult book is just a lot of weird stuff trying to praise some sort of demon named Zorgoth.
That's actually interesting.
They believe that in this cult that one can understand their soul through necromancy because of Zorgoth, as he is the necromantic demon lord that will burn this world in flames when it is ready to return to dust. And that when he returns, that those who followed Zorgoth, the demon lord, they will be burned alive and be able to become one of his generals in his reign of terror upon the world that is now fire and brimstone. Their souls become one with Zorgoth.
Does the book happen to be authored by Garbadar Shebasha?
Oh my
Shubasha?
gosh.
Garbadar
The plot
Shubasha?
thickens.
Yeah, does that happen to be a Garbadar Shubasha special? Was
Yeah,
that...
it was authored by Garbadar Shubasha.
Dude, we're finding so much about this guy, dude. He
Uh,
worships Zorgoth, you guys.
Oh
This is
my
important
gosh.
lore.
What was his name again?
Garbadar Shubasha. I will put it in the
Garbadar.
chat. It
Thank
is
you.
it is spelled Garbidar.
I will stand on this hill. Dude, you realize, like, if my character dies, then, like, all of a sudden I need to, like, have something about Garbadar Shubasha. Like, it's gonna happen.
You're gonna become Garbadar Shubasha?
I'll play Garbadar. I mean, that sounds
He's
awesome.
Garbadar Shubasha, occult necromancy fanatic who hopes he will be burned alive.
By Zorgoth, specifically.
Or
Yes.
By Zorgoth.
Zorgoth.
Unification of souls, yes. Mhm.
Oh my gosh, that is hilarious. Okay.
Yeah, and he also wrote another book on magic spells, really weird magic spells,
Yeah.
on how to become make your
One with
costume
your
more
costume.
realistic. Yeah, become one with your costume.
Yes.
Makes sense. One with souls, one with costumes.
Yeah,
I mean,
that kinda-
actually, it kind of
It
tracks.
kind of tracks, yeah, that's weird.
There we go.
This is a Garbadar
It's
guy.
canon.
Garbadar.
What were the other 4 books?
3 were on the Shattering, specifically looking for creatures from before the Shattering that were like lived in the realm of death or stuff like that.
Okay. What you gather is that there were like all sorts of manner of evil denizens of creatures. There were demons, there were dragons, there were aboleths, there were
Hey,
tarasques, there were uh anyone else want to pipe in with big giant monsters from D&D?
Hydras.
Hydras, there were
Dragons.
hydras.
Dragons. Big. Oh no.
False
There-
hydras.
Oh.
Yeah. There were
I mean, that's
lich
a worth it,
kings.
yeah.
There's some
Ooh,
undead. There were liches,
Liches.
wights, banshees,
I'm
zombies,
pulling up the
skeletons, but those are
game.
kind of basic
look at
ones.
Astral dreadnought.
Astral
Yeah.
dreadnought,
Carrion crawlers.
Terrian
Yeah.
crawler.
Let's just. I'm just gonna put the
Totally
challenge
just
rating.
Google monstrosities.
Yeah, I'm gonna just go to max challenge rating and see what that pulls up.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
they're just a ton of different. Nothing though that she can find with her 8, which is so sad when it matters. Of what she's looking for.
Yeah,
So.
not what you're looking for.
And then the last one was on understanding portals and stuff.
Yeah, this
kind of.
one's more like, hey, you're new to magic, aren't you? Let's talk about how magic works. Now, let's take Dimension Door, for example. This is magic, and magic that can teleport you places. It's a great
So it's a book
and
for
handy.
kids, I see.
This is so condescending. This is
Magic.
Dora the Dimension Door Explorer. Nice.
Yes.
Good job, Dane.
Dora the Dimension Door Explorer.
Good job.
Swiper, no swiping.
Swipe or no swiping.
Just Dimension Door the heck away from that stealing little fox. Can you all say dimension door? Say dimension door.
You got like a 3-year-old, like,
Go
the
on,
nesting
say it.
doll.
Nuri is still taking note of all of this.
Writing it down.
Come
Well,
on.
now I know Dimension Door's a spell. How helpful.
Wow! You said it. Good job.
This is why the shattering
Cool.
should have never happened. We need more chaotic beasts to destroy these types of people.
This was also a pop-up book that spoke
Wow.
to you.
Oh,
In a super loud voice in the middle of the library.
When you say dimension door,
Oh yeah,
Farm?
worms.
Dimension door?
well,
Worms.
let's talk about
Plane.
Misty Step. Can you say Misty Step?
Yeah, I can't forget Demogorgon. That would have helped with this situation.
With
Nuri's
your
like
8,
nodding, and she's like, "I learned magic before this." She'll put the book back once it's done.
Alrighty. With that,
That's all her books.
with your 8, that's all you were able to glean from it. On that note, we are going to go back to Douse here with his book on the elemental plane of water that you do find. You notice that the book itself actually seems to be like woven with like seaweed on its pages.
He's
All
gonna take
like
a.
it's dried
He's gonna
out.
look around, take a quick sniff. Like, home.
Oh, yeah, it does. It smells like dust and
Oh, dang it.
a little fishy,
Okay, a
but
little fish.
a little fishy. The little fishy gets ya.
The book seems a little fishy.
It's just fishy. It's sus.
Opens it, there's a tiny fish in there just flopping around.
There, canon. There's a little anchovy that's dead, just rotting in its page. That's where the
Douse
fish
has
smell.
no idea what to do with it. And he turns the page. She's like, I'm not
Turns the-
taking it out.
Alrighty.
Because if he takes it out, he's gonna make the rest of the library start stinking. Because he doesn't know what to do with it. So he's just like,
He's like, all right, flip the page. Alrighty. So, what are you looking for specifically?
um, specifically just anything of note on the older inhabitants of um, the planet water, trying to see if we can find anything that might link to Wei, whether it be her name or whatnot. And if Wei has any commentary, he's open to it.
Yeah, you can tell her presence is in your mind. Sorry.
It's
Her
like, if there's
presence
anything in this book you want to take credit for, let me know.
she's like, I wonder what you'll find in there. And
You
as
gave
you
me
kind of
both.
flip through creatures and people who live in the elemental plane of water, you find things of like oozes and water elementals and merfolk, Johnny, Nereids. I don't know how to pronounce those. You find like Merid, Tritons, uh, and surprisingly topaz dragons. Um, I looked up a list.
Don't worry, I'm looking up the list as well now.
Ah, perfect. Oh, and dragon turtles. Um,
Ew.
like, oh, what is the Plesiosaurus? Pretty much like any ocean creature. Um, you'll find like will-o-wisps and um aboleths, sea hags. There's just like a lot of creatures that live down here. Um, and as
Ooh.
you're kind of reading up on
What
all
are
these,
the
what are the
I was gonna ask anything specific that like the more older, longer lived creatures there, or
um you know that a lot of like the older, longer, I guess as you're kind of flipping through, roll investigation.
okay, that is a 13.
A 13. Alrighty. So with your 13, are you like asking Way any questions as you go along or just researching?
You might have a few snarky comments to be like, "Oh, are you one of these?" Like just a teaser or whatnot.
It
Um,
depends on the creature, but she'll have different comments for each. Um, like if you compared her to a merfolk, she'd be like, "Oh no, but they are very graceful."
but well, you said you're water. Are you a water elemental? Ha ha ha! Like just teasingly.
Oh, water elementals wish they were me.
But
Uh,
occasionally he would throw in a serious one like, "Would you have been worshipped by Tritons or something like that?"
oh, actually, yes.
Hmm.
That's quite
He's
an
not intentionally
adventure.
flirting.
It's not
Wait,
intentional, it's on accident.
okay, high or low, Dallas?
Let's go high. I got high hopes for this.
Alrighty. As you're
But
kind of
knowing the session,
as you are searching through the pages, um, are you going to, now that she talked about how yes, the Tritons do worship her, are you going to read
uh,
any more into it or
he would. He would first ask me, he's like, "Do you mind if I look into this?" I realize I haven't asked you if I should. I'm okay looking into these things, but
oh, I do not mind. I more enjoy the thrill of watching you discover it on your own. This is why
why,
I've been
thank
so
you,
dodgy. I don't just spill it all. It's
thank
more
you. I just
fun with the push and
figure
pull.
it's good to know who I've made a pact with, and so I would like to figure these things out.
Hmm. Yes, by all means, read on. Um, as you continue to read, and it talks about how the Tritons, and you actually, I will say this, you note that this book is actually from, there's like a little note in the margins that this book is actually from the temple that you grew up in.
I have to talk to our librarian back at home.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Um, And so the information on here is like, and the language that it's written in, like you're like, I vibe with this book. um, as you continue to read into it, you read more about the Tritons and what they worship and how everything in like the elemental plane of water seems to flow um in this tidal cycle with each other. And how with the Tritons, they're a very emotional, uh, very run by their emotion kind of society. And the actual entity that they worship isn't quite an entity at all, as it is the very heart and essence of the sea that they worship.
Very interesting.
How, in what way?
Well, I mean, the heart of the sea. I mean, I know the sea has been living, but is this? I never put a personality to the sea, so that's kind of the thing that's becoming a little bit more interesting and harder to kind of wrap my head around, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Because if I take a cup of water from the ocean, is that part of you?
In a sense, yes and no.
And that's kind of where what I'm getting at as the interesting part of what defines, like, what is, where's that line kind of a thing, you know?
Well, what do you believe I am, Douse?
I don't know yet. That's what I'm trying to figure out.
And I told you you wouldn't know until you truly understood. And here it is, in your face. And you do not understand. You're quite daft to
Mm-hmm.
be the bearer.
And you just stop looking at Greg's texts and chats just because I'm like getting distracted. Stop it, Greg.
It's my job.
Now I know how people feel with me. Do you have a physical form? That is a question I would like to ask.
Hmm. Not in a way you would think. Douse, I am the very heart of the sea itself.
Now, when you say the sea, because I just
Of water, of oceans,
is that
of
well
rivers
that
and
yeah that was
lakes.
my question. Is it a specific sea or is that just all water on every plane?
All water.
That would that put you above the gods?
Not quite.
But the gods come first.
As I said, I have connections with them. As you well know, when I helped get you connected to revive your friend.
Mm-hmm.
But that does not make me on par with a god. I am simply the heart of water. All of it flows in and through me. I am it, and it is me. I I ebb and flow with time and the tides. There is no concept of godhood in me. I am what I am. And you are the bearer of the heart of water. Now, isn't that such a strange happenstance?
I might have gotten deeper than I thought.
Oh, Douse, you've plunged into the deep end.
And I forgot my floaties.
Yes, you did. And as bearer, you need to decide if you are sinking or swimming.
I thought I was swimming. But with this new information, I will need to ponder on it.
I
Thank you for your cooperation.
Well, I figured it's about time. We've been with each other for so long. Now water me, I'm thirsty.
Well, fine. He just takes a
And we
decanter and just
starts dumping water on it. With that,
Positive
we will
relationship.
end tonight's session.
sorry, just the thought of like he starts doing that, and the librarian walks by and sees him in the middle of all these books.
No,
Dumping
Sierra's got
water.
Sierra's got a point. Does she drink herself? Like, is that how that works? She just drinks herself? This is weird.
What,
Does
you
she
never tried
power the
that?
decanter? Hold on. This raises so many questions. So many. This is a. I've said it before. I'll say it again. This is a cork board campaign. You even need to like have magic items pinned up on there. Like, how does that even connect? And whatever. Garbathar Shubasha. We got lots of things.
I was waiting for you to say that that was the real author of the book, not a
Real
book
author.
from my library. I was like, who is this man? He has
Yeah,
his hands in everything.
Oh,
he does. He's a very interesting man. Well, with that, players, are there any final things that you would like to say with our audience?
We love
There is
you.
actually one thing that I wanted to announce out. Hi, speaking as Silver Dusk here, if you really liked the design of the mouse pad that was shown earlier, you can now commission me to do artwork for you on Fiverr. I also have a Facebook page where I will be selling handmade crocheted goods. Let's see if this will appear. Like this little bag. And yeah, the little wolf. So I do have a Facebook page for that. It is called Silver's Stitches. And I will be posting more about this as an announcement on my Facebook and Instagram accounts.
Woo! Okay, awesome. Thank you so much, Megan, for sharing that. Guys, check her out. She's really awesome and she's making so many amazing plushies. She's very good at crocheting. I actually got myself a crocheted flag from her, uh, and a crocheted lance from Voltron from her. Um, so lots of cool stuff. Um, any other last things from players on the session tonight or anything?
Happy Thanksgiving!
Yes.
it's
Happy
that time of
Thanksgiving,
year.
all. Yes.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
And as a reminder, there will only be one more episode before we go on break until next year.
Yes, and that will be posted on Saturday next week. Will be our final episode. This week's is being posted today on Saturday. Yeah, because you're watching this and it's Saturday. But next Saturday will be our final pre-recorded session of Harbingers D&D campaign before the holiday break, and we will return on January 19th. So please stay tuned for next week's episode on Saturday, and we hope to see you next week when you watch it. So, yeah, buy our merch. Check out Silverdesk. We love you guys. You guys are amazing, and we wouldn't be here without you guys. So have a wonderful night. Happy Thanksgiving, and all the love from us. All right, fly. We love you.
Bye bye.